Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the latest edition of Blast from the Past. My name is Joe Nostalgia. With me, as always, is my co-host Josh Recall.
Hello, everybody. How was this fine quarantine that we are under?
Should we wear our masks while we record?
Fuck it, we're putting the masks on.
All right.
Fuck it, mask off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are a podcast dedicated to all things nostalgic, retro, and vintage. We are here to tickle that nostalgia bone that we all have inside of us.
And we hope to unlock the memories that you didn't even know that you had.
What's going on, Josh?
We are without a topic today.
We don't have a topic today. But I have been watching a lot of nostalgic TV shows.
I watch a lot of nostalgic wrestling. You want to just talk about old shit?
Now, see, there's a beef that you and I have had for years. It's Cartoon Network versus Nickelodeon.
Oh, it's easy because Cartoon Network's superior.
Now, listen, look. You and I, see, the one thing is that we've always had equal love for both. Like, I love Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. But, given the ultimatum, you and I always ride for the other team. I'm Team Nick, you're Team Cartoon Network. And I feel like this debate should be on record.
Oof.
So, plead your fucking case. Because I want to hear this bullshit.
I just think, dude, Cartoon Network has more memories. It's like, yeah, people have their memories with Nickelodeon, but you see more people talking about Ed, Edd n Eddy and Billy and Mandy and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like Ren and Stimpy, like, I'm going to be honest with you, I've never watched Ren and Stimpy in my life. I've never seen
Really?
it. I've never seen it. Dude, I was besides Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron, and SpongeBob, I never watched Nickelodeon.
So no
I never saw Our Real
Beavers.
Monsters. I never saw Angry Beavers.
Oh,
I've seen very few Rocko's Modern Life. So I am firmly a Cartoon Network kid because, one, that's what I grew up with, and two, like what I've seen of the old Nick shows, it just doesn't appeal to me as much as other 90s kids.
Really?
It really, it honestly doesn't. I'll check it out. I'll watch it if it's on, but I don't think I'll go out of my way to watch fucking Angry Beavers.
Yeah, but see, you were saying that people don't talk about Nick shows as much as Cartoon Network shows. That's
The only ones I really hear people talk about are the ones that I really, like I mentioned. Like, you get SpongeBob everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe that's just because you're not looking for those fans. Because
I'm on the same
those Nick
page
shows
as
have
you
such
are.
a legacy.
They have a legacy. I'm not
That's what I think.
knocking.
Because, see...
I'm not trying to knock.
No, of course. I think Cartoon Network is superior as far as longevity.
Yeah.
Their shows ran a lot longer than a lot of the Nick shows. People don't realize a lot of the Nicktoons, a lot of those ended right when the 90s came to a close. Angry Beavers ended in, 99. Rocko's Modern Life ended in 98. Fucking... A lot of the... Doug was already over at fucking Disney. A lot of the Nicktoons ended really soon. But that's where I think they're superior with legacy, due to the degree that they're, the standard that they're held having not last that long. Because, dude, all Cartoon Network shows, those last... I mean, Ed, Edd n Eddy ended in fucking 2009, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
All of the original Nicktoons, with the exception of SpongeBob, they all came to a close by 2005. And then that was it. And then Nicktoons Network pretty much became the fucking
hub,
graveyard for all those shows.
Yeah.
But to still be held to such a standard, even though they didn't last as long as Cartoon Network, you got to admit the legacy, they're superior with that.
Yeah. I can see that. I see what you mean.
And plus, I think the roster, there's just more of a variety. Like, none of the shows are like Angry Beavers, Cat Dog, Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, Doug, Kablam. None of them are alike. With Cartoon Network, like Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab, and Powerpuff Girls, all the same animation, all about... Mind you, they're all made by the same studio.
Pretty sure they're made by the same people, no?
Yeah, they're made by Hanna-Barbera. That's insane to me. Whenever you think Hanna-Barbera, you think the Flintstones, the Jetsons. No, that was Johnny Bravo and Dexter and all that shit.
Yeah.
I love that, dude.
That
I
is
love
fucking
that shit.
Strange. Wasn't Seth MacFarlane behind Johnny Bravo?
Seth MacFarlane worked at Hanna-Barbera, and he worked on Johnny Bravo. And he actually made a cartoon that was like an early version of Family Guy. I forget what the fuck it was called, but it was about a guy and his dog. And his dog spoke, and the owner was Peter's voice, and the dog was fucking Brian's voice. So it was like an early Family Guy, like those voices. It's really fucking cool.
I've actually seen it.
Yeah.
It was like Family Guy where it did flashbacks and stuff, but it was more kid-friendly than...
Yes, I think it was like...
Here's Ron.
Life of something, and I think it was the dog's name. But yeah, the owner was Peter. pretty much, and the dog was Brian. Well, the voice-wise.
No, while you're talking about like pre-stages of famous cartoons, you familiar with what Johnny Bravo was at first?
Wasn't he supposed to be like an Elvis
Meso Blues.
impersonator?
Meso Blues. Meso Blues, he was literally Johnny Bravo, but he looked like Elvis Presley, and he was an Elvis Presley impersonator.
Which...
That's fucking awesome.
Do you think that would have been...
I need to see the pilot. I just want the footage.
I need to see that version of that show.
It's like Johnny Quasar.
Oh, dude, Johnny Quasar. Listen, there was a convention in like 95, 96 that had an early version of Jimmy Neutron. His name was Johnny Quasar.
He had the big head, but he was like black, slick hair. He didn't have the big fucking swirl.
He had the robotic dog, and his spaceship he was flying looked exactly like the one that fucking Jimmy used.
Goddard looked the exact same too.
Goddard looked a little different. He had like a dome that had like a brain in it. I think it was some weird thing.
Well, he had the dome in the show, but it was just electricity.
Yeah, but it fucking wasn't like a brain. You know what I'm
Wait,
saying?
it was a brain in that?
I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it was so
weird.
weird.
It was a resurrected dog?
I think that's where they wanted to go with it.
Oh, jeez.
That would have been cool, though. Like, his dog passed away, and he, kept him going through this.
He was just like, my dog didn't die.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
It's Frankenweenie before Frankenweenie.
I was just gonna... Frankenweenie's actually a really old thing. Frankenweenie's like 92, 93. It was a short film by Tim Burton, and then he made
they
a
came out
movie.
with the movie. All right.
Yeah.
Dude, Johnny Quasar, though. Having that mid-early 90s animation, it looks very odd. And the voice is kind of weird. Hi, I'm Johnny Quasar, and this is my dog. I think the dog had the same name.
Goddard. It was Goddard.
Yeah. Speaking of weird animation, though, have you ever like really sat down and watched the first season of the Rugrats?
It's very jumpy.
It's really rough, man. I was rewatching it the other night.
The entire animation looks like fucking Pigpen from fucking...
Oh, for fuck's sakes, dude. It's so odd. I think they were trying to like emphasize how weird everything looks in a baby's perspective. But when you see some of them talk, it's really fucking odd, dude. All right, so you're Cartoon Network.
Yes.
Now, what do you think about the new generation of Cartoon Network? Because I think the new generation of Nickelodeon is atrocious.
The new generation of Nickelodeon's really bad. Besides Loud House, I hear Loud House is pretty good.
I mean, I don't have anything against it. I haven't really watched it, but I think Sanjay and Craig was a lot better. And
Sanjay and Craig was pretty good.
And then they pretty much just booted that to Nicktoons Network.
With Cartoon Network,
they've like managed to still push out decent content.
Dude, Steven Universe, from my understanding, is a fantastic show.
I've never watched it, but The Amazing World of Gumball,
amazing.
Absolutely.
Regular Show, amazing.
Regular Show, and I've said this before, Regular Show seemed like it would have belonged in our era. I feel like Regular Show might have fit with Ed and Eddie and fucking Foster's Home and all those. Like, even though it was like retro 80s and that was more of a thing nowadays, like retro 80s shit is more of like a fad now, I still feel like that show would have belonged with fucking Foster's and Ed and Eddie and all those shows.
Yeah.
It feels like a classic, even
does.
though it's within the last 8 or 9 years.
Dude, Regular Show was way ahead of its time.
It was.
It really was. I'm still fucking waiting on J.G. Quintel's fucking new show, which is rumored to fucking make its debut on fucking HBO Max, which if it is, that's enough for me.
Oh, really?
Because the trailer for that shit came out 3 or 4 years ago. And it's literally the Regular Show, but with adult humor. It's the same fucking thing.
Well, didn't the short
film... And they
film...
smoke pot,
yeah, but
and they fucking do it all.
Didn't the short film that led to...
2 in the AM PM, that was going to make that point, too. It's about 2 gas station clerks working on Halloween night, and fucking they do acid.
And then they see his friend turns into fucking Benson.
His friend turns into Benson, and it's the same voice as Benson. And then the other one turns into Mordecai, and he's the same voice as Mordecai because they're friends in real life. They're the creators of the show, basically.
And fucking J.G. Quintel's voice is pretty much just fucking Mordecai.
Yeah.
I saw him do an interview with Cartoon Network. He's like, yeah, I just like animation. It's like, it's fucking Mordecai.
It's like, I just wanted to animate a Blue Jay.
Yeah, dude. I just thought, it'd be cool. All right. Yeah,
fucking. But Adventure Time. Now I'll give Adventure Time.
I
was never into it.
I never was either.
I was never into it, but at least that show showed enough longevity to just end and already be getting specials on HBO Max.
I've always said, I feel like Regular Show deserved the acclaim
hype
and attention that fucking...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Like, I mean, I can see why people would love Adventure Time. I get the attraction, but as far as like content and story wise, it's like this isn't doing shit for me.
Regular show was way better than Adventure Time. Hot take. Leagues better.
Facts. It's canon.
It's canon.
It's canon.
It's canon.
But we're kind of going ahead of us. Let's go back to the old shows.
Let's go to the old shows.
Why don't we stay on Cartoon Network for now, and then we'll work our way over to Nick.
Network. Cartoon Network is responsible for my love of Batman because I wouldn't know who Batman was if it wasn't for Batman Beyond.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because Batman Beyond reruns played on Cartoon Network. It aired on Kids WB, but Cartoon Network in the early 2000s aired the show.
And
that was my first introduction to the character of Batman.
Really?
And that's the reason why I love Batman. Batman Beyond's awesome.
It kind of helped me to get into those shows. I mean, even though I had seen the Fox series, the Batman animated series, watching the Justice League and shit on Cartoon Network and Teen Titans got me more into it. We gotta talk about something.
What are you gonna say? Teen Titans Go?
No.
Because I love Teen Titans Go. They play it way too much, but that show is fucking funny.
We gotta talk about something that we posted on our page about Cartoon Network City.
How they all fucking interact.
The definitive era of Cartoon Network. I think it's safe to say that.
Yes.
That is, whenever someone says, yo, like, whenever I think Cartoon Network, I think that. And that's when I first moved here. 2004, when I moved here, that's when that began. So my intro to Cartoon Network in the States was that.
Such a beautiful introduction.
It's like, welcome, dude. Welcome.
See, when I first started watching Cartoon Network, it was like the old fucking, like, Looney Tunes type fucking introductions, like, coming up next.
Coming up next.
And then it would
Cartoon
be like
cartoons.
The Cartoon Network fucking logo would be falling from the sky like the Wile E. Coyote.
Oh my god.
And it would just pitfall and land in the fucking dude.
For those who don't know, Cartoon Network City was pretty much, they were bumpers that would air between ads. It was pretty much all of Cartoon Network shows lived together in this amalgam.
Yeah,
of
and
the
they
city
all
that's an amalgam.
interact, and they all had their voice actors come back and record the dialogue, like
which I loved.
Professor Utonium from Powerpuff Girls interacting with Nigel Uno and fucking Mandy.
Yeah, dude.
From fucking Codename Kids Next Door and The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
And then you saw Dexter roasting the fucking professor. It's like, that's hilarious. Two scientists talking shit about each other.
It is fucking funny.
That's the city. Cartoon Network City is an amalgam of all their towns. Like Townsville from the Powerpuff Girls is the town. No, Town Hall from Townsville is the town hall of this city.
Mm-hmm.
Kids Next Door and the Eds live near each other because they all live in like the fucking cul-de-sacs and the freaking neighborhoods. There's a part where they show like the highway and it says, "Oh, next exit to Gotham, next exit to fucking." That's cool as shit. Yeah, that's so cool, man. That is the best era of fucking Cartoon Network by far.
I agree 100%.
And then when you go into the woods off of the city, Camp Kidney is there.
Yeah.
With Laszlo and shit. That was a good show, too.
Camp Laszlo was awesome.
That show slept on.
So was My Gym Partner's a Monkey.
I never was too crazy about
it,
to be honest. I didn't dislike it. I would watch it, but it wasn't something like, oh shit, that's about to be on. I better go to it. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking Chowder was awesome.
Chowder and Flapjack were like the last of that era.
Mm-hmm.
That was like what, 2008, 2009?
Yeah.
Which was like the official ending of, I mean, the city era ended in like 06, 07. But as far as like all these classic shows are still ending, Chowder and Flapjack were like, this is the end of it. Do
you remember the era after the city where they had just the blank fucking like bodies and they would have like character faces on them?
It fucking looked like figures.
Yeah.
That was like what, 2010?
Nah, that was like 8 Up.
Oh my god, I didn't like it because to go from the city to that, it's like you guys really fucking downgraded.
Yeah. They tried to make everything more epic.
That's
when they fucking started doing the live action shows. That's when they started doing.
Wasn't one like a stunt show?
I don't fucking know.
I don't
either.
Fucking
care.
I don't know either.
All of Cartoon Network's live action shows are proven fact, scientifically proven. Ready?
Go on.
Dog shit. Very bad. Including the fucking shitty one with Andrew WK. Fuck Andrew WK.
Andrew WK
he doesn't even exist.
Had his own show.
Not even a real thing.
Cartoon Network?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know.
It was
that.
destroy, build, destroy. They would destroy shit,
I know
build
the
shit
name.
out
I
of the
never
shit
saw
that
it,
they
though.
destroyed, and then destroy it again, and like the same fucking thing every episode. And it was just Andrew WK fucking yelling the entire time in his white pants and white T-shirt he hasn't washed since 2000.
Have you ever heard about the conspiracy about
that he doesn't exist?
That I told you.
Yeah.
He's pretty much a creation of an industry. That's an episode for another day.
The Andrew WK episode of the podcast.
Yes. I would love to do that.
No,
I love
you can
him.
just say it
I
right
lo-
now. We're
I
not
love-
doing
I
an
love his music.
WK.
Andrew WK is the shit. Moving on. The city era lasted till 07, but it really lasted till like 05, early 06. Because 06, 07, it would just be like they would show the billboard coming up next, and it would be like just the billboard in the city.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the ending of the city era, where they stopped airing the characters interacting. It would just be like, oh, here's a shot of the city
Yeah.
with the billboard showing you what's up next.
I wonder why they did that.
I think because they wanted to like ease you into, all right, this is over, maybe. But
Lame.
but even to go from that to the figures, it's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. It's lame.
Nickelodeon never really had an era like that. That's another thing that I think Cartoon Network is superior in. Like, they would have characters interact in between commercials. Like, they had that one that I posted on the page for Christmas where they all had a Christmas party.
Well, you posted the Nickelodeon Christmas one. I posted
the Cartoon Network one.
Yep.
The Christmas party one, they all had a Christmas party, and SpongeBob ripped his pants.
Yep.
Meaning in that episode when Patrick's like, is the picture of SpongeBob ripping his pants at the Christmas party? It's like, oh, that's the Christmas party.
Holy shit, I never fucking put that together.
Yeah, I love that shit. That's rare times they would interact. Cartoon Network was just like, yeah, dude, they all fucking live. They all live together.
Yeah.
That's so much better.
I love it.
That's so much better.
So did you want to talk about Nickelodeon? Before we
Yes.
venture into anything else?
I think Nicktoons Network is better than normal Nickelodeon. I think it's a lot better because Nicktoons, it had Cartoon Network City era at the same time. Nicktoons Network had an era where the channel had pretty much just launched. All of the original Nicktoons were on there. Plus, they had other programming that they aired, like Cornel and Bernie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I've told you to watch that before, where the dog talks and shit.
Pretty sure you've mentioned it.
Kappa Mikey.
I remember Kappa Mikey.
And then
Kappa Mikey was fucking strange.
It was an odd show. I think because the whole show, he was like a stunt double or something.
Yeah, his animation is so different from everyone else.
Yes. Yeah, because he was an American that went to Japan.
Yeah.
So he's an American with all this Japanese animation. It's so fucking funny. Nicktoons Network, that's where I got to indulge in a lot of the OG Nicktoons, because by the time I was old enough to be aware of what I was watching, as I said earlier, a lot of those Nicktoons had ended by the early 2000s. And then they were all on Nicktoons. It's like, oh, you could watch all these here.
Did you know that Nicktoons Network had their own Speed Racer show? It's called Speed Racer: The Next Generation.
I was going to get to that. Around the time of the movie, they had their own show, which was
pretty
alright.
good. I liked it.
It was alright.
I watched like the first season.
That was like, oh wait, that was before Nicktoons Network became a premium channel.
I think it was after, because I remember not having it until I
Really?
got like Stars or something.
Because I remember what... Oh, I know. Yeah. Okay. Because my parents had the premium pack because of The Sopranos, so we had the premium stuff.
Do you remember like their other like original content from Nicktoons? It was like
Nicktoons Network-
Making Fiends.
The what happened?
Making Fiends.
I don't remember that.
It was like, if I'm remembering it correctly, it was like a little girl, and she was just a bitch.
I think that might have been some of the shorts that they would air.
Maybe.
Because Nicktoons Network, they had a lot of shorts that they would air. One was Tortellini Western. It was like a cowboy in the West, and then there was Doodles, which was like a little cartoon character that it would draw and then it would interact with shit. All right, but moving on, because you and I are fans of other cartoon shows that are not on either of these networks. Because I feel like the debate's always between Cartoon Network and Nick. No one ever talks about Fox Kids.
Nobody ever talks about Fox Kids, and nobody ever talks about Kids WB.
Or
Nobody
my
ever
personal
talks
favorite.
about-
Sorry, go on. What was the last one you were going to say?
I don't remember.
ABC Saturday Morning is my personal favorite.
I liked it until they started doing just That's So Raven and Hannah Montana.
Well, that's live
Which
action
it's not
stuff.
even that I'm not into those shows. They were alright for what they were.
Yeah.
It's like Hannah Montana was funny. But
Well-
it's just I wanted to see shit like The Replacements.
Oh, no. That's later on. I'm talking about early.
Oh!
For those who don't know, before Toon Disney became a channel, ABC Saturday Morning was those shows. In 98, 99, 2000, 2001, ABC Saturday Morning was show Doug, The Weekenders, Lloyd in Space, Buzz Lightyear of
Yep.
Star Command, Pepper Ann, Recess, and no one ever talks about those fucking shows.
Nobody ever talks about Pepper Ann.
Disney Plus doesn't have any of those shows on there.
Yet.
It
I
has
feel like
Doug, though, which I was shocked that it had Doug. But the fact that, they have Recess and Doug, but the fact that you have every Toy Story movie, but you don't have Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
The fact that they don't have Buzz Lightyear of Star Command is confusing out of all of those shows.
Or at least the movie. Because they had the...
Well, the movie was the pilot, no?
It was like an hour-long pilot, pretty much. But
Yeah.
it was like a straight-to VHS thing. And then the show came out where Patrick Warburton played Buzz.
Hey, baby.
Which is the funniest fucking casting.
Can
Hey,
I borrow
Woody.
your screwdriver?
Andy's coming. We gotta freeze. Anyways. I love that show so much. That was a great show.
Evil Emperor Zurg.
Wayne Knight, Newman from Seinfeld, played Zurg.
He was Zurg?
He played Zurg. Who'd you think he was?
I thought he was the red guy.
Oh, no, dude, he was Zurg.
I feel like Wayne Knight would be the red guy.
Oh, the freaking fat one?
Yeah.
No, dude, Newman was Zurg. And he crushed it as Zurg. And I think he went on to the series. Once everybody else was casted, I think Wayne Newman went on to the series.
Wayne Newman?
What did I say?
You called him Wayne Newman.
Wayne Knight. Listen, man, I'm on 2 hours of sleep. Kids WB, you want to talk about Freakazoid?
God, Freakazoid. Freakazoid's so fucking good. It's about a fucking teenage kid who's always on his computer, and then one day he fucking gets sucked into his computer, given technological powers. And, dude, he's literally Deadpool before
Pretty much like a
Deadpool was Deadpool.
I was fucking just going to say that.
He was Deadpool before Deadpool was Deadpool. Deadpool came out before Freakazoid, but there was a long period of time where Deadpool was just a mercenary. He didn't have the quips. He wasn't comedic. He wasn't funny. He
the
didn't
first
even
time he
talk for
broke
the
the
most
fourth
part.
wall was like years later.
Yeah, years and years later. So Freakazoid was Deadpool before Deadpool was Deadpool. And he's
Freakazoid
just
walked
so
so
funny.
Deadpool can run.
Freakazoid walked so Deadpool can run. Absolutely.
Broke the fourth wall, talked directly to the audience. He was pretty much like a Bugs Bunny type of character. He was just wacky, didn't give a fuck about anything.
He was literally a wacky character.
Dude, the funniest thing about fucking Freakazoid though is that there's no plot.
There really isn't. Some of the episodes have
Did you have to cough on the mic?
I was trying not to.
I think you gotta wipe that thing off now.
Some of the episodes do have a little plot. The first season's all over the place. First season, there's a lot of not Freakazoid.
It's just like side stories and shit.
Side characters, side stories.
I haven't fucking seen that show in years.
Dude, Freakazoid is awesome. That's one that I remember watching way back in the day.
I remember you telling me about it, and I knew it, like I knew the name, but I didn't remember seeing it. I didn't fully get to really indulge till like years later.
Like a couple years ago, no?
Yeah, but
So good.
but like when you said the name, I was like, I know that show. I remember hearing that when I was a kid, but as far as watching it, I don't really remember much of it. But I'm sure I did.
Fucking good.
Which I'm sure I did see it because I was a big fan of the Animaniacs and stuff. So I'm sure I had to see
is
it.
great.
Oh,
I never got to watch a lot of it.
I watched a lot of it. So where you were more into the Freakazoid, I was more into the Animaniacs. Such a good show too. Warner Brothers and Dot, because it's
Fucking
the Dot
Steven
after Warner
Spielberg.
Brothers. Yeah,
Steven Spielberg.
because this is back when they were passionate about what they were making.
Yeah. And then fucking... He was behind Animaniacs, Freakazoid, and Pinky and the Brain. And there's a skit in fucking in an episode of Freakazoid.
Where they're all there, no?
Freakazoid is arguing with fucking Wacko. And then fucking
Is it the one with the red hat?
think so.
Then yeah, it's Wacko.
And then fucking it was either Pinky and the Brain or Pinky or Brain.
I'm pretty sure it was only Brain.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And they were all arguing.
About who Steve loves more?
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
And then
And that's his idea. Why don't we just have our cartoons fight over me?
Like, I love that. I think that's awesome.
Because again, that's back when people who make cartoons were passionate about it. It's not just like today where everything's like cookie cutter. Let's just make a cartoon.
Let's make a cartoon, sell some toys.
Which, mind you, again, we still have some good shows today. Like again, Amazing World of Gumball and stuff. But a lot of it just lacks the passion.
It doesn't compare.
Like with Freakazoid, I mean,
with Freakazoid, with Ed and Eddie.
Yeah. And Danny Antonucci didn't even want to make it. And he still made it that good. Dude, for those who don't know, Danny Antonucci, he made Ed, Edd and Eddy on a bet. He had made more vulgar adult animations. He had fucking Lupo the Butcher, which you have to watch, dude.
I'm pretty sure we've watched it.
Lupo the Butcher's so fucking funny. He just cuts himself. There's the one where he cuts off his hands. And he's, you fucking son of a bitch. Like, he just yells and shit. And that's Danny Antonucci. And then, I forget if it was a friend or somebody, they were like, why don't you make a fucking kid show? He had no interest in doing it. The only time he made, like, kids animation was for a shoe commercial. And then literally on a bet, he made up Ed, Edd n Eddy. On a bet.
And now he's set for life.
And now that is what he's best known for. And I feel kind of bad because, like, imagine I didn't even want to do this, and now this is all.
But imagine,
I mean, not all.
Imagine
he's known
not
for,
wanting
but
to
for
do
our
it at
age group.
first and then falling in love with it.
And you
gotta
still
think
crush
he
it.
did. Isn't he the voice of Eddie?
No. Eddie's Tony Sampson.
Okay.
Double D's played by Sam Vincent, which also played the alien in Martin Mystery for all my Canadian fans out there. And Matt Hill plays Ed, who also played one of the Ninja Turtles in one of the series. I think it was the 2003 series.
Maybe.
Or earlier. I don't know. But Matt Hill, Sam Vincent, Tony Sampson. But yeah, for somebody who I don't even want to do this cartoon, I'm just doing it on a bet, and you crush it. And he approached Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon wanted more of like the creative control, so they ultimately said no because Danny was like, no, I want to be in charge of my show, please. Mm-hmm. Cartoon Network was down with it, and then Nickelodeon missed out.
Yeah.
Which isn't the first time because they had a chance to get Adventure Time, and they said no to that too.
Imagine that.
What the fuck, guys? I'm trying to defend you here. Like, what the fuck?
Imagine Nickelodeon saying no.
Imagine Adventure Time being a Nicktoon.
Crazy.
Imagine Ed, Edd n Eddy being a Nicktoon.
Imagine Adventure.
Think about
Imagine Adventure Time being on the same roster as SpongeBob.
But think about it. Ed, Edd n Eddy came out the same year as SpongeBob. Imagine Nickelodeon revealing SpongeBob and Ed, Edd n Eddy the same year.
Oh.
That, dude.
I don't think we'd have a Cartoon Network.
I don't know.
I
I don't fucking know, dude. The Ed Boys walked so the rest of that channel could run.
Absolutely.
I love it. Fossil for Imaginary Friends began really late.
It's 04.
04.
05.
Which is around the time most of the Nicktoons had came to a close.
Love Foster's.
Because
That's one of my favorites. I binged it like a couple years back.
And then Camp Lazlo only began in like 05.
05 or 06.
And then Hi Puffy Amiyumi.
Total Drama Island. How did you fucking feel?
I never liked it.
No?
I was never too huge on it. I think a little bit. I was into the first season.
It had that amount of angst for us kids around that time.
That was a Canadian show. What did you think of 16?
Love it.
Really?
Love it.
Isn't that made by the same people that made Total Drama Island?
Same people.
They're
same
all
voices.
Canadian shows.
Love it.
Oh, speaking of Canadian, dude.
16.
Danny Antonucci is an Italian from Canada. I don't want to say we're related in some way, but you know what I'm saying? I love him. I love him.
16 is a funny show because that's one where when it first aired in America, it was Nickelodeon. And then when it returned to air to finish like the rest of its episodes, because it got canceled off of Nickelodeon. Because I remember watching.
I could have sworn that it was Cartoon Network though.
But then Cartoon Network brought it back around the same time as Total Drama Island and let it finish off its fucking episode count.
Now was that the first time that a thing like that has ever happened? Or the only time?
I don't know. Because I fucking vividly remember watching 16 before everybody found out about it because they released it with Total Drama Island. I remember watching it on Nickelodeon.
Oh
and it was a very short time, though. I remember only seeing it a few times, and I think they might have canned it early. And then Cartoon Network was like, okay, Total Drama Island's doing pretty good.
Let's
do 16.
This.
And then 16 did really good.
Didn't they bring it back last year?
16?
Yeah. They did a short one-off thing where they were talking about the election. Well, not last year. They were talking about the election.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But they were all the same age, I think? Or were they older?
I think they were the same age.
I don't know. But to keep the animation talk going back to Danny Antonucci, because he fights for something that I fight for as well. Danny Antonucci fights for 2D animation, like hand-drawn, as opposed to digitally.
Mm.
Like nowadays, every cartoons, it's not hand-drawn, it's made on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
He hates that. He fights for, let's bring it back to the old days where you hand-drew these shows. I agree.
I do too.
And I always wanted to hear your fucking
makes it
thoughts
more
on
prettier.
it.
Digital animation is more clean.
It's more convenient.
But
saves a lot of man hours.
Hand-drawn animation,
you'll never capture that magic.
No, go and watch Ed, Edd n Eddy right now, and then come back and go and watch Adventure Time and tell me which was more fun to watch.
Well, see, Ed, Edd n Eddy, it was in that weird time where it was making the switch, because episode 5, when they went back to school, was...
Season 5?
Yeah.
Or episode? You said episodes 5.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I'm on 2 hours of sleep, Josh. Season 5 of Ed, Edd n Eddy, when they went to school, that was digitally and animated. and it looks way different than seasons 1 through 4. The colors look more fucking fake, and the backgrounds don't look the same. Like the backgrounds, remember how the backgrounds in the first 4 seasons they like lacked
detail,
color? It was weird.
They lack detail.
That changed in 5.
Yeah.
Because again, it made the switch from hand drawn to fucking digital. Same with The Simpsons. When you watch seasons 1 through 10, all hand drawn. 11 and up is all fucking digital. Whereas The Simpsons, you can sort of mimic the hand drawn, but the last few years you could really tell, like, all right, this is made on a computer.
Yeah.
This isn't hand drawn. And I was watching a recent interview with Danny Antonucci where he's like, I hate this. You're putting animators out of a job because now anybody can use a fucking iPad and make a fucking show for a fucking network.
Exactly.
And I agree.
Exactly. Look how many fucking YouTube shows got fucking cartoons. Like, what was that?
The Annoying Orange got a Nickelodeon show, man.
Yeah, what the fuck
You know
is
what I'm
that?
saying?
No, it was Cartoon Network.
But go on with your point. You were saying the show on the internet got put on a network.
It was like...
Fred?
No. It was like a Disney XD show recently, and it was like something about a pickle.
Oh, I don't know. I
You
don't
know what I'm talking about, right?
I honestly don't, actually.
Good.
I rarely watch cable TV now.
I don't even have a cable box.
Also because like we didn't pay our bill and it got turned off. But that's fucking besides the point. That's fucking besides the point. Yeah, go ahead and laugh at my misfortune. Thank you.
Cut that out.
But yeah, man, I think digital can never mimic that magic that hand drawn.
No.
Like for Looney Tunes to be made in the 40s and you can't make the current Looney Tunes look that good.
No.
Yeah, it looks brighter.
It looks brighter and quote unquote better.
But the way they move. Perfect. You know what? That reminds me. Perfect example. I really don't mean to cut you off, but this is a point that I want to make.
You
Arthur.
Motherfucker.
Did you watch Arthur when we were kids?
No.
When you go back and watch the early episodes and you watch the current episodes, the digital animation, the way they move, it looks so artificial. It doesn't look fluid. Like when they move and interact with their backgrounds, it looks so ugly. It's really bad. And then when you watch the older episodes from the 90s and early 2000s,
sucks.
it does suck. It really does suck. Because it's like, I understand it's convenient, but you're making your shit look ugly to save a few bucks.
Exactly. It's
like so fucking bad, man. Go on with your point. I really didn't mean to talk over you.
It's like fucking... It's like, look at Teen Titans Go compared to the first season of 90s Batman.
Yeah, but isn't Teen Titans Go, like, purposely that weird?
No, well, not even Teen Titans Go. I was gonna fucking correct myself. Teen Titans. Just Teen Titans.
Was Teen Titans hand-drawn, though?
Huh?
Was Teen Titans hand-drawn, though?
No.
It was in the early 2000s.
It's 2005.
Yeah, but didn't it begin in, like, 03?
I don't think so.
I could have sworn it was 03. But, yeah, I understand you completely. The fact that Batman because Batman the Animated Series was made on black paper, no?
Black paper.
That is so fucking nice.
Yeah.
That's so odd, too, that they rarely do that. They never do that with anything.
No, and it looks so good.
Batman the Animated Series, for those who don't know, was hand-drawn on black paper.
Awesome.
And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that shit. Was Teen Titans done the same way?
I don't think so.
They should have. It might have given it a cool look.
Because I think Teen Titans was digital. It was in that era.
Well, I mean, Ed and Eddie didn't switch to digital till 06. So maybe. Did you like Static Shock?
It's pretty good.
I like it a lot.
I like that they had a fucking episode that was a crossover with Batman Beyond.
Yeah. And didn't they go back to Batman 2 or the Justice League? No, I think older Clark Kent mentions the Teen Titans, and Static Shock is like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "Oh, you'll find out about them later, or something." They reference the
Teen Titans show came out after. No,
yeah,
that's cool.
That's really fucking cool. I love
really
that.
Cool.
I love how they weren't afraid to fucking connect their fucking shows and things like that.
That's what's cool about that Crisis of Infinite Earths fucking special they did not that long ago. They connected everything.
Really?
The DC Universe fucking streaming shows, the old fucking TV shows, the movies.
I know. I thought we were still talking about animation.
No.
I don't know you were talking about the live action. But yeah. And it's cool because they don't do that a lot now. So when you see it now, it's like, oh, that's cool. Because fucking MCU completely fucking ignores Daredevil and shit. So to see them connect their movies with their shows.
Yeah. I don't know why they fucking ignore Daredevil. It's fucking so stupid.
Yeah, I know.
The show's so good.
I'm I'm not just saying this. I like that better than any MCU film.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love
got more
that show
substance.
so much, because I think MCU, they're really heavy on the fucking jokes now, man. They're really heavy on the jokes.
I don't think anything's wrong with the jokes.
Yeah, but there's times where even in Endgame or Infinity War where it's like you didn't need a joke there.
You didn't need a joke there, but when they want you to have a dark moment, they give you your dark moment.
I know, but there's other points where it's like that could have been a dark moment. Why are you putting a joke here?
Because they're fucking saving you for later. They're saving you for your They're saving you from your later heartbreak. They're like, all right, laugh now, you
heartbreak. You mean Spider-Man: Far From Home? Whoa!
Absolutely.
We've already talked about this regardless, Josh.
Yeah. It's like Endgame. The movie's mostly jokes because, hey, guess what? Stark's dying, and Cap is going to be an old man. So fucking enjoy it now.
Yeah, I know.
Because, fuck.
Were you a fan of Fox Kids? Besides the X-Men and Spider-Man shows? Were you a fan of the Tick before I
never knew of the Tick, really.
Really?
But Fox Kids was awesome because of Power Rangers.
I keep forgetting that Power Rangers was on Fox.
It started on Fox Kids.
That wasn't the 2003 Ninja Turtles show also on Fox Kids?
I forget which one that was on.
That was a good series.
It might have been Fox Kids. I feel like it was Fox Kids.
It was either Kids WB or Fox Kids, because I know it was not Cartoon Network or anything like that. And this was before Nick bought them, so it was before Nickelodeon. The Tick is, honestly, if I had to choose, don't choose a Cartoon Network, don't choose a Nick show. What is your favorite cartoon of all time? The Tick takes it.
Yeah.
I love that show so much.
I need to check it out.
I love the Tick as a character. I'm a huge fan of his comics, huge fan of both live action series, but the cartoon, dude, I love it. And I love how, dude, that's how Ben Edlund, the man who created the Tick, is a genius. He has released new incarnations of the Tick, because at its core, the Tick is a satire of the superhero fucking type genre.
Yeah.
So, when the comics first came out, he was mimicking the art style of fucking Frank Miller. He was copying that art style. When the cartoon came out, he was copying the X-Men series and the Spider-Man series and those superhero series. When the live-action Patrick Warburton series came out, it was satirizing how corny some superhero films were. And then when the Amazon series came out, it was mimicking Daredevil and all these MCU type things.
Yeah.
So Ben Edlund is like, all right, now's a good time to fucking make, like, crack jokes about this shit. Now's a good time to crack jokes about this shit. And he strategically fucking released new incarnations of the Tick. It's so sick. And he's a New Englander, and it makes me so proud. I love that.
New England comics.
I love the fucking new series. I was so worried, because I was like, you're giving it to Amazon? Like, but when I saw that Ben Edlund still had a hand in it, I was like, all right, that's good. As long as you give people who are fucking created this shit a hand in it.
You gotta respect the creators. Always.
Like the fact that people are showing Todd McFarlane resistance about his Spawn movie is like, asshole, he created the character.
Yeah.
You don't trust him to make a movie?
Yeah.
It's his character.
For real, it's just like saying, hey, calm down, Stanley. You don't know Spider-Man.
Listen, Stanley, what do you know about these superheroes?
Who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah, you created the guy, but I'm making the movie. I didn't see you making a fucking movie. No.
You just get a cameo.
Fuck
out of here with just fucking...
Who are you again?
I was trying to drink. Who are you again? I'm Stan Lee. Oh my god.
Sure you are. Get out of here. Hit the bricks.
Hit the bricks.
It's just like his cameo in Fantastic Four 2. He's like, I'm Stan Lee. And
yeah,
like,
yeah. All right, Pops. Come on. All right. Speaking of Spawn, did you see the animated series when it was out?
No, and I really want to.
I haven't either.
I really want to.
I have a VHS tape of it, and I still haven't watched it.
What are you waiting for?
Every time I put on the VCR, I watch my Rugrats tapes. Blue's Clues.
Ooh.
Steve Burns. People thought he was dead for like 15 years.
Everybody thought he was dead.
I love
Steve Burns. And then
Steve
he was
Burns.
just like, I'm not dead.
I love how he still has a hand in the fucking new one. Him and the actor who fucking played Joe.
I love that nobody is shitting on the new actor.
Everybody likes it. Everybody embraced him. Uh-huh. I was so glad at that, because in a world with trolls and hating, I was like, don't hate on this dude. He looks like...
He shares a name. He shares my name. His name is Josh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because when they revealed him, I was like, all right, this looks cool. I just didn't like the animation of Blue. I thought they should have kept her 2D. Yeah. I was like, you're going the 3D route? Okay. But the actor looked cool. And then when I saw that Steve was gonna come back and he's a detective now,
Yes.
and you realize, holy shit, that's what he was practicing for all those years.
When fucking Blue's Clues has better character progression than the Disney trilogy of Star Wars movies, you've got a fucking problem. You have got a fucking problem.
Steve is walking so fucking Ray could run.
Ray can fucking go Skywalker herself to hell. I don't.
I love Blue's Clues, man.
I love Blue's Clues.
So you were a fan of those like kid shows at the time?
Yes.
Oswald?
Don't make me cry over Oswald right now.
Man. Weenie.
Just thinking,
his dog was a hot dog.
Just thinking about the intro to Oswald just fills me with so much emotion.
It's just music, and he's just walking down the street. Like it's just that kind of song. Were you a fan of Caillou? I was heavy into Caillou.
I didn't get into Caillou. I didn't find out about Caillou until I was like too old for Caillou.
All right. Roly Poly Oly. George Shrinks.
Hmm?
Did you ever watch George Shrinks?
No.
Really? It's about the boy who's like 5 inches tall, and he has a car that turns into a boat and a plane.
Oh.
George Shrinks. Yeah, yeah. You never watched George Shrinks?
No.
Oh my god, man! It was a fucking PBS show.
No, I was never a PBS kid. I can tell you that.
Well, that's so you never watched Clifford or Jakers. The story of Wiggly Pig. I fucking hated that show so much.
I've never even heard of whatever the fuck you just said.
It's about a Scottish pig, and his friends
His name was what?
His friends are a duck, and like a cow, and like a moo cow.
A moo cow?
And his name isn't even Jakers, but the name of the show is Jakers. It's like, what are you talking about right now? What is the point of this? It ruins my fucking day.
Jakers!
The story of Wiggly Pig.
The following announcement has been paid for by Jakers!
It's canon? It's canon?
Never. Not even once.
Were you
You're
a fan
cutting
of Bob
that
the
out.
Builder?
I was too old when it came out.
No, it came out in like 2000.
Really?
It's been around for a while.
Well, like I said, I was never a PBS kid.
What about Postman Pat?
What the fuck is that?
Oh my god! It was pretty much the same stop motion animation as like Bob the Builder, but it was a postman. You never watched Postman Pat?
I've never even heard.
Oh my god!
I've never even heard of Postman Pat.
It's a UK show that would air on like PBS Kids or something like that. What about Wallace and Gromit? Did you watch that when it was out?
No. I saw like maybe one of the movies. Like I've seen Chicken Run. I know it's not the same. But it's along the lines of the same thing.
It's from the same people that fucking made it. I saw the movie in theaters, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Yeah, I remember that.
I saw that opening
Wasn't
day.
fucking Wallace the Were-Rabbit?
Yeah. Wallace was the fucking were-rabbit the whole time. Spoiler alert. Oh fuck it, dude. The movie came out 14 years ago. They had a game too on it.
Did they?
They had like 2 games on fucking Wallace and Gromit.
Really?
And I never played them.
Huh.
I never knew about.
I never fucking knew that.
I knew about the Were-Rabbit one, but I found out about the other one like recently.
What were they, like fucking side-scrolling Mario type games, or
it was like
platformers?
Picture the Pixar games
platformers
of that time. What kind of? Like think of like the Incredibles game or the Ratatouille game.
All right.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Well, speaking of Pixar, Josh.
Speaking of Pixar,
Where do you stand on the whole Pixar or non-Pixar 3D animated film debate? Like, is it Shark Tale and Ants, or is it Finding Nemo and A Bug's
Pixar.
Life?
It's Pixar.
Really?
There are more bad DreamWorks movies than there are good DreamWorks movies.
But the good DreamWorks movies are really fucking good.
Yes.
Not even just DreamWorks, because Robots was made by Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Robots is my
great.
favorite.
But
too.
when it comes to Pixar, there are more gems in Pixar. The only Pixar movies that I hear people talk shit about
is like more of the newer ones.
The Good Dinosaur.
I still never saw. I haven't seen them.
And fucking I don't hear enough people talk about Brave. They don't say bad things.
No one
Cars 2
really cared
bad.
about it. Cars 2's bad. How's Cars 3? I haven't seen it yet.
Cars 3 is fucking awesome. You know what? Do you care?
Yeah, dude.
You do care?
I fucking do want to watch it.
All right, because you might cry.
All right.
You might.
Cars 1 is a gem. Cars 1 is an underrated movie.
Cars 1 is wicked underrated, especially the story of Hudson.
The Hudson Hornet.
How did that impact you? Did that make you upset?
I love that movie, man. I remember watching it for the first time. I was like, I was super sad, but at the same time, I was like, what a fucking hypocrite, man. Even at 10 years old, I was like, why is he so fucking mad at him? Like, I don't know.
He just wants to race.
I know. That's a good. The game is really fucking fun.
Never got to play the game.
That's a game that nobody remembers playing, but whenever you play it, it's so fucking good. You could change his like tires and his fucking paint jobs and shit.
That's cool.
It's really fun. Like they have another Rusty's one where he's mainly blue. Looks really cool. They have the Dinoco paint. Like they have all those fucking skins.
Awesome.
It's really fun. All right, moving on from games though. Back to the main topic of this. Since we actually sort of formed a topic, cartoons, animation domination. Do you have any shows that you feel like are notable to speak about?
What, for animation domination? Like Family Guy, American
No,
Dad?
just any cartoon. I'm saying that you feel is notable to talk about because we've actually covered a lot of cartoons on this.
Honestly, let's bring in a little Western. Cowboy fucking Bebop.
Oh, so we're going into anime now.
I think I'm not the most cultured anime guy on the fucking planet. I've only seen
I'm
like
very
a handful.
non-cultured.
I've only seen a handful, maybe fucking a whole hand's worth of fucking anime. Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, My Hero Academia, Fooly Cooly.
Fooly Cooley's good.
Fooly Cooly's really good.
I really fucking like it.
And honestly,
now you were a fan
that's
of but you were a fan of like Pokemon and all of those, obviously,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were cool way back in the day.
I was never too into it. Yu-Gi-Oh I was actually kind of into. I was into Digimon more than Pokemon.
Digimon's underrated as fuck.
Digimon was on Fox Kids as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure it was Fox Kids.
I think it was Fox Kids because I know Pokemon was Kids WB.
And I think Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, then it fucking had to be that. But
Yeah.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh was on Fox. Or were they all on fucking...
I think Yu-Gi-Oh was on Kids WB. Digimon was definitely fucking Fox, because I'm pretty sure Digimon was made by Saban. And Saban did Power Rangers.
Alright,
So yeah,
okay.
Digimon was Fox Kids.
Were you into Inuyasha since we're on the anime talk?
The only time I've seen it was when I was a kid, and when I was a kid I wasn't into anime at all.
I wasn't either, but
dig
I've
it.
actually found myself being into that.
Like, I never dug Inuyasha. I never watched Dragon Ball Z until 2 years ago.
I never liked fucking... I liked Dragon Ball, the OG series from like the early 90s or late 80s when you was a kid still. Dragon Ball Z I never got into.
I think you can get into Dragon Ball Z. Like
Maybe now. Because as an adult, I got into Pokemon. And as a kid, I couldn't stand it.
You got into Pokemon because of Detective Pikachu.
And then I indulged in the show after that. So I was like, let me fucking give the show a shot then.
Mm-hmm. And it's good.
So yeah, I think if I were to go back and watch that, then I'll fucking be into it. Because for me, besides Inuyasha, the only anime thing I was into was the film Spirited Away.
Spirited Away was pretty good, but I've gotta be honest with you, buddy. I never got to check it out until like last year.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I always thought that we all knew about it. Because the first time I saw it was on Cartoon Network. Remember how every Friday they would show like a movie?
I think it was like Saturday.
Actually, yeah, it fucking might have been. Yeah, sorry. Friday was the new episodes. Saturday was a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
They would show the same Naruto movie every fucking week.
And then it was the fucking world like TV premiere of Spirited Away, and I watched it and I loved it, and I was like a fan of it since. It's a great fucking movie.
So fucking good. Like,
It's
it's one of those movies that gets talked about a lot, but still doesn't fucking get talked about enough.
I kind of wish they made like a series with those characters that were at that hotel and shit. What's wrong with you?
Like a TV series?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think
Why?
I like the
You
beauty of
think it's good on its
Ghibli.
own?
I like Ghibli movies, how they're their own thing. Like, you need to see Totoro. My Neighbor Totoro. It's pretty good.
The only other Studio Ghibli film I saw was some shit that Brandon showed me. Because one day I was like, show me what's the hype is, and he showed me that.
Show you what the hype is. Here you go. Here's Cowboy Bebop. Enjoy.
I love that show too. One Punch Man I think is pretty good, but that's recent.
Never seen it. Never seen that, and I've never seen Attack on Titan. My Hero Academia is an ongoing one right now. They just finished their third season. My Hero Academia is the one anime that I firmly believe that you would completely get hype over.
Really?
It's about it's a world where everybody has a superpower.
Really?
They're called quirks. Everybody has a quirk. Some of them are dumb. One of them, the kid fucking tape comes out of his arms. and he becomes a superhero and uses tape to rap shit and fucking like swing and shit.
Oh my god.
And it's there's a lot of like cool zany stuff, but the main character, he doesn't have a quirk. And his favorite hero is All Might, who's the equivalent to Superman in this world.
Okay.
He's the best hero. He's the #1 ranked hero in the world. And he looks up to him, and then one day they cross paths, and he's telling All Might his story, and he's like, oh, well, sorry. And then All Might's whole thing is, during a battle, like, he got, like, severely injured, and now his quirk is on a timer, and he only has his quirk for so much longer.
Oh my god.
Because the gimmick with his quirk is all for one. So he can pass down his quirk to somebody, just like his quirk was passed down to him from his trainer. So fucking Deku, which is the main character's name, goes off and sees one of his friends, like his childhood friends, about to be killed during like an enemy attack.
Yeah.
And him not having a superpower doesn't even think about it. He just goes and tries to save his friend. And
Wow.
All Might sees that, All Might being injured because he can't turn his quirk on right now. He's like, man, that kid's
kid like has it in him.
kid's gonna die. Like, that
Yeah.
kid's willing to die for this. So then he turns on All Might, saves the day, and then when Deku's like going off in his own way, he's like, you've got it in you. Like, here's my quirk. And then it's Deku's journey to becoming the #1 hero in the world. It's very good.
Now, is that old or new?
Brand new. It's still going.
All
It just
right.
finished its 3rd season.
dig
it is incredible.
I dig
like,
it.
I never thought I'd be able to get into an anime as much as I'm into My Hero.
I dig it.
Like, it's literally right in our ballpark. Like, it's fucking drive right to us.
I dig it.
Fucking.
But
you've
we're kind
gotta
of moving
check it
ahead
out.
here, though.
Moving it.
Recent.
Just let me geek
That's
about
not what
fucking
we're
My
all
Hero.
about right
I know,
now.
but My Hero
I know.
Academia is so good.
So let's go back then.
I met the actor of Deku.
Where?
Rhode Island Comic Con. The
Really?
sign pops right there.
Oh, I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to stick with the anime talk, were you a fan of like the Toonami block on Cartoon Network?
See, when the Toonami block on Cartoon Network was around, that was around the time where I wasn't into anime.
But what about Code Lyoko?
Code Lyoko was
Because that's a show I
fucking
know
cool.
everybody liked.
Code Lyoko was awesome because it was like a transition between anime and
like
3D
CGI.
animation.
Yeah, I know.
It was awesome.
That's a show that again everybody liked, and I never really cared for it.
Pretty sure.
But that's also because I was never.
You know,
into
that's
anime.
not Japanese anime. That's
It's-
French. It's
Really?
French. It's a French animation. Yeah.
It's still cool though.
Hell yeah.
And as you were saying, I love the fucking 2D animation and fucking like CGI shit. I fucking like that a lot. All right. I realized we spoke about Toon Disney and ABC Saturday Morning, but we didn't talk about Disney Channel series.
Oh, so like Brainy and Mr. Whiskers and
Kim Possible.
Dave the Barbarian. Super underrated.
Very good.
Did you like that one?
I did actually.
Good.
Were you into the Lilo and Stitch series?
Yes.
As opposed to the movies? I never watched it. I guess not like I disliked it.
Did you know what the show was about?
Isn't it like all of the other experiments were loose?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they have to gather them together.
They had one of the best online games where you played as one
The
of these
sandwich
The
and-
sandwich
yes.
stacker game, man.
That
That's
was one of
back when Flash games were the shit.
Dude, all of them had them. Nickelodeon had Flash games. Cartoon Network had the best Flash games.
Nickelodeon had a cool era where it wasn't just games based on their shows. They had other games where it was like one was a fucking spin the bottle game. And one was a fucking gum game where this alien blew bubbles and it would change shapes. Dude, I swear to God, it's the weirdest thing. They had so many games that weren't based on their series. But then they had the SpongeBob games, the Rugrats games, like the Escape fucking Rock Bottom where you were on the fucking glove balloon and you had to dodge the fucking spikes. That's a classic game. Did you ever play that?
I don't think so. See, I didn't play a lot of them.
Did you play like the Cartoon Network games?
A decent amount.
What'd you think of Fusion Fall?
Never got to play that.
I didn't either because it was one where you had to pay for it, but the animation was really unique.
It was really cool looking. It was kind of like an extension of the City Bumpers in a way.
Kind of, because that's like, oh, we're all
Everybody was
interacting. But the animation was really odd. Like, they didn't look like each other.
Are you aware of the Super Smash Brothers type Cartoon Network game? It's called Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL.
The only fight game I ever played was the food fight game for Ed and Eddie, where Double D takes off his hat and reveals what's underneath.
They have one that came out for the PS3, and it was...
it was a fucking console game.
Yeah.
I thought we were still talking about fucking Flash games.
Punch Time Explosion.
Ooh, no.
And it was pretty much Smash Brothers, but Cartoon Network.
I never played any of the Cartoon Network games besides Ed, Edd and Eddy, the Misadventures.
I've never played it.
Merchandise for these cartoons. Nickelodeon, way superior when it came to merch.
I'd say so.
Cartoon Network sucked
There's
with
barely
merch.
anything Cartoon Network.
Rare shit.
Dude, that fucking shirt
All of
that
it
I
was
bought,
ugly.
the shirt that I bought that's clearly marked large, and I bought it large, and it's a fucking 5X.
It's mostly the sleeves.
Yeah.
The sleeves are like 8 feet long.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb.
I remember
And
they
it had everybody on it. It had,
Yeah.
it had like all across the line.
But early on, merch for Cartoon Network was they had rare merch items. They had like pillows and plushies, but then they had these Ed, Edd and Eddy bendy figures, which were purposefully the ugliest fucking things you've ever seen. Dude, the heads were like 20 times bigger than their body.
They look like the Meat Canyon Ed, Edd and Eddy videos.
They look, they look like
25 cents.
caricatures of cartoon characters, like for real.
25 cents is all it takes to see.
For what? Another one of your harebrained scams?
No. No, Kevin. To see God. What?
What? All right.
What?
Enough of this. Nickelodeon was so much better. Home media Cartoon Network sucked with as well. Nickelodeon had the orange tapes, all the home fucking releases.
Cartoon Network didn't have anything.
They rarely had like, Ed and Eddy Volume 1 that came out in like 06.
Yeah, like it wasn't until like fairly recently that Courage the Cowardly Dog got a complete series box set, which
they most of them did. Most of the shows got a DVD release recently.
Really?
But why did it have to happen recently?
For real. At this point, Blu-ray
You could
baby.
have made checkered print VHS tapes.
Oh, holy shit.
I mean, come on. That would have been a bitch to mold, but for fuck's sakes.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, Cartoon Network just didn't give a fuck about merch.
But Nickelodeon, on the other hand, that's where I'll give Nickelodeon props. They still, to this day, push out a shit ton of merchandise.
I think SpongeBob was the most that they ever did. SpongeBob was the most merch they ever made.
They do the most of, but it's like you still see merch with other characters on it still.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, the heyday of Nick and merch was when SpongeBob came out, and there was so much fucking merch.
SpongeBob was everywhere.
And I had that classic green boxes, the green packaging. Even the ice cream had that green packaging.
Oh, so good.
Dude.
But they had everything.
The VHS tapes are the best. Like, there's no reason why it's not on our... I mean, there's no question why it's not on our art.
Remember when Disney had some of them blue?
For Monsters, Inc. Monsters, Inc. was a blue tape. It's a good-looking tape.
It was a good-looking tape.
It's a good-looking tape. And I remember something had a red one. Some movie had... I think one of the Jason movies had, like, a red VHS tape, but that's off topic. Fucking Cartoon Network should have made tapes. It should have made them checkerboard print. Or just white. Just have them be white. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Like, the fact that I can't buy an Ed and Eddy VHS.
That's sad.
And the boxes could have looked sick. You know what I'm saying?
Now, we've talked a lot about Cartoon Network and we've talked a lot about Ed and Eddy, but we've ignored one show. It was very twisted, sick, and you're wearing the T-shirt right now.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I'm wearing the T-shirt.
Holy fucking shit! Like we could talk about this for a little bit.
Okay. Do you want to make that like the final combo that we can sign off?
I think we could. Yeah.
Let's sign off on Courage.
Let's sign off with Courage.
What's your favorite episode?
Favorite episode? It's King Ramses' Curse.
Yeah, same here.
That episode fucking traumatized me
because
it had
that early 2000s computer animation,
and he's just scary.
Yep.
But that's why he's on our art.
Scary.
I thought he was scary.
There's something that I think is even scarier.
Oh, that you're not perfect?
I forget what episode it was on, but it's this weird thing with no arm, and it just looks at the camera and goes, "You're not perfect." Oh my god!
It's just really fucking scary.
I'll fucking show that while you're watching this, but dude. That is way scarier than King Ramses, but King Ramses is a better episode.
King Ramses is a great episode.
Total bullsweat.
Total bullsweat.
What was the episode when there was like a prostitute that was a cat? And Courage had to help her escape her pimp?
It was like Bunny and Cat.
I think so.
And they were like
pimp was a dog or something.
They were in love with each other, and they were being, what the fuck?
This was a children's show.
They were being pimped by a fucking like huge like
children's show.
Yeah.
It was a children's.
Whoa.
Dude, Courage the Cowardly Dog is like linked to why we all have anxiety issues now. Like for fuck's sakes.
World. It's Doc Gerbil's world.
You're not perfect.
It's Doc Gerbil's world.
You're happy now, Johnny Law.
Return the slab.
We'll suffer the man in gauze, King
Ramses.
Alright, enough. It's all red.
We're good.
My head hurts.
Blowing out the mic.
Any other show? Blowing out the mic.
Okay, we've got to say it every episode.
No.
We've got to say it every episode.
I have to say it because you keep doing it.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other notable shows? Anything that you like that needs to be spoken about? Teacher's Pet, Recess, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Flintstones. We haven't talked about any old animation. Are you a Flintstones guy or a Jetsons guy?
Flintstones.
Same here.
Jetsons is pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
But Flintstones was just...
It's really boring compared to the Flintstones.
Who doesn't like dinosaurs?
But the Flintstones is basically the Honeymooners, but with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which Jackie Gleason almost sued Hanna-Barbera for it.
That's fucking insane.
He almost sued him. And I guess he went on record saying, I wanted to, but I realized I don't want to be known as the guy who got Fred Flintstone taken off the air.
Yeah.
So
Imagine
I was like,
being that guy.
I just had to accept it. He was like, all right. That's funny, though.
It is funny.
The Honeymooners is a great show.
Is it? Never seen it.
Honestly, there's a lot of sitcoms and comedies that are funny, but you don't laugh out loud. I belly laugh at them. The Honeymooners is so fucking funny. It's fucking not like a Seinfeld where it's like, oh, that's fucking funny. It's like, no, I'm laughing at this. This is hilarious. It's really good.
Is it like...
It's not like Friends where it's trash. You know what I'm saying?
Why do people hate Friends now?
Fuck, dude, it's so... Because it's one of those things that got
out
of nowhere. I do like Friends. But it doesn't deserve all this attention. How come Frasier's completely ignored?
I've been watching Friends since I was a kid.
Yeah, same. But how come Frasier gets completely ignored?
Frasier's so fucking good.
And Frasier's
awesome.
Frasier was on Netflix way longer than Friends.
Yeah.
Fuck Friends. I'd rather Niles Crane over Ross any day.
Me too. No.
Okay.
So I think that's another episode in the bag.
Thank you for tuning in. This wasn't a planned episode. We just wanted to fucking talk about cartoons for an hour.
Yeah. We just wanted to shoot the shit about some of our memories.
Yeah, and we want to keep pushing out content, but they don't always have to be about one topic.
No. We can just babble a little bit.
Thank you for tuning in to Blast from the Past. You can reach us on Instagram at Blast Podcast. You can watch us on YouTube. YouTube coming to Spotify very soon. Very soon. Stay tuned for that. New episodes coming soon. Go to our YouTube as well for our gaming series. It's the show connected to the podcast. Thank you again.
And I hope that we unlocked that memory for you.
Stay classic. We'll catch you all next time. Peace.
Peace.